Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to AshleyAllenMedia.com, and today I am joined with Miss Juka. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
I'm always excited to speak to a beautiful entrepreneur.
Blushing. I'm kidding.
All right, so let's jump right into this. Like, you have some amazing products here, amazing packaging, which is, of course,
Thank you.
very, very important. And all of your products are organic, 100% pure. So tell me, what inspired you to start your line?
Okay, let's see. So I used to live in New York and moved to LA, but when I was coming to LA, I realized they didn't have that many African stores. I'm African, I'm from Gambia. So I decided to open a store. I think I was 27, and I opened a little store. And from there, of course, it was a bad time and economy was bad. So I decided to close the store. But I realized that the red palm oil that we were bringing in to the country, a lot of people really liked the quality and it stood out. And I actually said, okay, I'm going to close the store, but I'm going to give birth to something new, which is the red palm oil.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's how we started back in 2013. The good thing with Juka's Organic is that I'm really passionate about this part of the business because we bring the products from Africa from the villages, and we work with women.
Yeah.
And all of these products are actually touched by women.
Yeah. See, look at this.
Yeah.
Strong black women.
Yeah.
So tell me, so of course, so you had your store. What is it like? What is your day-to-day life as an entrepreneur? I mean, I know, on the social media, you have all these different pages and they kind of make it look easy. And I know it's definitely not as easy as it looks. So what is an entrepreneur life like for you?
Whoa. Okay. First of all, you almost have to learn and know everything about your business.
Right.
Everything. You can't just be cute and just say, okay, I want to own a business and I just want to deal with the amazing part of it. No, you have to be able to know the ins and outs, like the nitty gritty, packaging, labeling, designing. You might not do it yourself, but you have to have the brains to the vision to basically see from A to Z, and also be willing to get down and dirty. Like it just didn't came out like this amazing in the beginning. In the beginning, we packaged it, and I mean, when I had the store, but anyways, I'm not gonna get into that. But I would go to the customs and deal with customs, or go to the warehouse, pick up the boxes, package some of the things myself, as far as like putting the stuff in the boxes and stuff like that. So it's rough. It's not just glamorous.
Yeah.
I'm pretty. No. There's a lot of things that goes into it, from permits and all these things, getting in the permits. And I mean, so it's so much that goes into owning a business and wanting to be something global or national to make it something huge. Yeah.
And it takes a lot of market research. You have to know your consumer. So like you said, all of that is not done overnight, and of course you don't do it by yourself.
Right.
So speaking of that, do you have a team that you work with, or who helps you keep this vision alive and keeps your business running?
Good correction. When we first started, of course, didn't have any help. I was help A, help B, help C, and I was still all the help. At least in America. Of course, in Africa, I have my mom and I have like the people that we work with in the beginning. But now, as we were getting bigger and bigger, I had to get distributors that distribute here in Los Angeles and other parts of the country, in Texas, New York, and stuff like that, which is amazing. And of course, then you have people that deal with the designing, the labels and so, but it's all, I'm really hands-on, I'm really passionate, and I'm really picky, so everything has to be a certain way. So, and that's why I was saying earlier, it's really important to really master pretty much every part of what you're doing. That way no one can fool you.
Exactly. See? So because your products are 100% natural, of course I'm sure there's some type of special extraction process, or what's the process to get the products and the purest form?
Yeah, so okay, so we can start with the red palm oil. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So red palm oil in its purest form, obviously you see the color, it's like super rich red color, which is because of the antioxidants. So I'm not going to get into the health part. I'll just talk about what you just asked. So the traditional method of extracting the oil helps it keep the purity, helps it authentic, to keep the authenticity of the product, which is what they do in the villages, which is what they've been practicing or doing for thousands of years.
Right.
And that's how you do this one, the red palm oil. The traditional method, of course, if they want to know more about what the traditional method is, it's a long process to explain, but basically pound it, put water, and then boil it slowly, which is known as cold press, and then you boil it slowly and you extract the oil from the top, and that's how you get the oil. It's like a long process to get it to get a little bit of oil.
Right.
And then of course shea butter too. There's a
we love shea butter.
Shea butter,
yeah. Shea butter.
Shea butter. Anyways, but shea butter, usually most shea butters come from, almost all shea butter comes from Africa, and most of them are pure. Now there's a difference if how you get it, where you get it from, and stuff like that. So not all shea butters are 100% natural, even if it says 100% natural. It's the way it smells, the texture. Like, don't get me started, because my mom would be like, no, that's not good shea butter.
Yeah.
So you really have to know these things, and not everybody is blessed to have that knowledge. I'm blessed to have the knowledge, because not just because I'm from Africa, but because my mom is very hands-on as well.
Right.
And she teaches me a lot of these things, how it's supposed to look, how it's supposed to feel. And I grew up with it, so I know what to expect. So the same thing with the oil. There's a lot of red palm oil in the market. That's
right. So that was going to be my next question. You know, there's so many different organic products out here, or products that have organic label. Some really are organic, some really aren't. How can people really tell, without having a lot of background and knowledge that you have, how can they tell that something is actually organic?
Yeah. So this is a little political. I think that the word organic is overused and makes no sense in a way, but it's people really value the fact that people, you say organic, but really it's just a USDA stamp organic that says organic. But in Africa, these products come from the villages. Africa is organic.
That's true.
The soil is organic. They don't use fertilizers. They don't use pesticides. Everything they wait for Mother Nature. The oil is harvested every 3 to 4 months, right? The trees grow and everything is natural. So with Africa, the oil that comes from Africa might not necessarily have the organic seal, but it's actually more organic because red palm oil is indigenous to Africa. It comes from Africa. That's where it grows naturally. But then you have other places like Asia or Ecuador, all these other parts of the world that took the seed and replanted them and grew them and have the organic seal on it. But guess what? It's still not the same quality as the one that comes from Africa, from the villages, because you can tell, I can tell from the color, it's not as red, it's more orange. So if you see red palm oil that's orange, that's not completely red.
Orange or yellow.
Thank you, yellow. It's that's one way to identify if it's really pure, authentic or not. Now also they have some companies that kind of, I guess, knew when we started talking about it, about the color and all that stuff, and people started to do their own research and know what to look out for. They start to put the oil in a red glass jar. So when you open it, it's yellow or orange. So that's also something to look out for. That all our products, everything, it's a clear jar except the shea, but when you open it you'll see the color. But so that's something that I wanted to say. The color is number one. We can go in deep into other things that tells you if it's authentic or not authentic, or you just get Jukas.
There you go. That solves the problem right there.
Yeah.
So I know that you said that there's a lot of traditions in how this is grown and how it's pressed in Africa. So how do you take, I guess, pretty much the traditions on how it's made, and how do you translate that over to today's customer and like their lifestyle? How do you market it to them that it's something that they can use every day?
Yeah.
And in multiple forms.
Yeah. That's a good question you ask. I'm trying to remember how we say it on leaflets and stuff, but it's basically keeping the authenticity of these products when we bring them in, but keeping your family in mind, which is more contemporary in today's world. Okay. So how do we do that? Okay, so let's say if you don't want to take red palm oil every day and you don't like to cook, so we infuse it in a capsule form, vegan.
Got it.
So, and it's all natural, and it gives you the same benefits that the red palm oil will give you if you take two capsules a day. And then we also have it in the sauce. So the sauce is the business. It's really good. So we infuse it in the sauce for people that don't like to cook, and because everybody is busy, nobody really has time for much and nowadays.
Mild and spicy.
Are you
extra
spicy?
I love spicy.
Oh, good.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Love it.
We're gonna get down tonight. Yeah. So
tell me a little bit more about these women in Africa that you work with. How did you get connected with them to set up this partnership?
Yeah. So the first time I started bringing the oil in, which is after we closed the store, and I said, okay, I'm going to focus on the red palm oil. I spoke to my mom about it, and she says, great. So then we start bringing in from just anywhere in Africa, from the villages, but just from any vendor. Okay. And I said, I want to make a difference with the way that business is done in Africa. And I feel like a lot of women, they put a lot of hard work into what they do in the villages, but they don't really reap the benefits. They don't really see the benefits because they don't have the connections to go outside of the village or the home. The men are the ones that go outside of the village and go to these big markets that are outside of the village in the city, and while the women stay in the village and watch the kids. Right. So generally they're not expected to go outside of those perimeters. So therefore my thought was, okay, how can I get these women involved? So they're not going to be in the main markets, most of them. So therefore we have to go into the villages and talk to them and try to work with them and see how we can invest in them by getting the products from them, particularly the red palm oil, shea butter, coconut oil, and all these other things, and bring it into the country in the U.S. and not just help the U.S. people, for them to have the benefits that Africans are getting from these natural products that are they don't grow in America, but also for the money to go back to the African villages for those women. And when you give money to women, that means you basically empower the whole world, because we gave birth to kids, and when you give birth to kids, you nurture them and you put your heart and soul and you give them everything you have. So when you have money, when you have business that's prosperous, then you therefore give it to your children, and then that makes for a better world.
I love that. I love that you're giving back to your country, your hometown, through products that is made by them, it's touched by them, and I love that you have that hometown connection. That's amazing.
And the beauty of with us is not just from Gambia. Pretty much it's all of West Africa. Like we go into different parts of Africa to get our products from different women. So I think that's amazing. So we're touching different parts of Africa.
And I love that you're bringing the culture here, you know, because I have never seen or used
red palm
oil. I am now. And so, I love that, there's a cultural aspect, and that you as a businesswoman, you go and touch it yourself, and that you're working and empowering these women. Like, that's,
Thank you.
Understand. That's amazing.
Thank you. It's fulfilling.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, your partnership with Walmart, let's get into that. Tell me, that's so exciting. How did that come about?
Ooh. hard
How
work.
do you feel?
I don't know. I'm very grateful, but I'm always centered. So when great milestones happen in my life, I think ever since I came to America, everything that I've done, I put so much hard work into it, and I put so much vision in. Like I see it before it happens. So when it happens, I've seen it already. I mean, so, but I'm humbled.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm excited, but I don't go, ah!
Yeah.
Well, maybe I can do that now. Ah, no. But yeah, so I it's great when it happens, and then you say, okay, what's next? What's next?
Yeah.
What's next? Yeah. What's next? What? So I really don't take the time to celebrate too much, which might be bad, but
you should.
Yeah,
Live
I
in
think.
the moment.
Yeah, I think I should. Yeah,
But I understand,
I'll start doing that.
I'm the same way,
Yeah.
you know. But I've been making a conscious effort to live in the moment. So yeah, live in the moment, enjoy your success, and celebrate it while it's happening.
Yeah, I would say I enjoy it, I appreciate it, I celebrate it. But I think we all have different ways to process things.
Yeah.
So my way is very internal. Like I talk to like the universe, the higher power, whatever. I don't want to get religious, but yeah. So and I think those are my moments of celebration when I just, thank him and thank him and thank him and thank him. Even like, when I'm walking into the Walmart and see the products, like inside, internally, I'm excited, but I'm just like connecting with the higher power, universe, whatever you call it. Yeah. So it's humbling. It's good. I'm grateful and I'm thankful to them for the opportunity. But it was a long process. It took almost, I would say, 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, for the first time before we got to .com, because we are national with all their .com, and we ship to their warehouses, and they send to customers. So that process took a year, and then after that part, then we had to like crawl, of course, and show what we can do, what the numbers and our reviews and all that stuff. And then that's when we went into had a vendor's contract for the stores.
Yeah. So see, people, success doesn't happen overnight.
No.
It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of preparation, and it takes patience. Right?
Tell me about it.
Patience.
It takes patience and having that vision. Just see it.
Yeah.
See it before it even happens. Just see it. Keep seeing it in your mind, right? And that helps you roadmap it. That helps you to go after it. That helps you not to give up, and that also helps you to be consistent.
Yes.
So, not losing that vision. Just stay focused on that vision, whatever that goal is. See it happening in front of your eyes. So therefore, when it happens, you saw it already.
Yeah. So you do have a few products that can be used multiple ways, like the coconut oil, of course, cooking.
Yeah.
But you can also use it as like a lotion.
Body scrub,
or
hair.
What else?
Hair, you could use it as a hair oil treatment.
Okay.
And speaking of hair oil treatment, the girls, everybody is using red palm oil on hair as an oil treatment as well.
Okay.
And we have some video tutorials online and like how to do it and all that stuff. But the same thing that the coconut oil can do for your hair, actually red palm oil can do twice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because not only this has vitamin E, but it also has a lot of antioxidant and all the families of the vitamin E.
Okay.
I'm not going to pronounce it because my accent, trichotranol, and yeah, I did good with that one. And then the other one, I can't pronounce. But okay, families of the vitamin E, if you Google it, you'll see. Shea butter has a lot of vitamin E, and it's also good for skin, of course. Great for hair, you know that. Great for your feet. Great for pregnant women. If you expecting a baby, whatever, if you start using shea butter right from the beginning, by the time you give birth, it's going to help eliminate stretch marks or not even have stretch marks, and it's going to give you really clear skin.
Okay.
It's amazing. Like the women, I had no makeup when I go to the village in Africa. They have no makeup. I mean, they don't use any like mask, any scrubs. If you see their skin, their teeth, they don't go to the dentist, but it's just amazing, and it's all because of what they eat.
Yes.
The products that they use, and that's what we need to do as well in the West. And even in Africa, in the cities, they don't do it as much as the villages. And that's why the people in the village are a lot healthier than the people in the city.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the test of time that the saying, you are what you eat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we need to be getting on this red palm oil, people. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I always say, you can use food to heal you,
yes,
or you can use it to destroy you. So you have to choose. Yeah, I mean, Mother Nature creates it all for us. We just have to use it.
Yeah.
So we also have baobab powder. The baobab powder is actually good for like smoothies, shakes.
Okay.
So, and it's delicious. You could also make like a drink, and it has a lot of
Is this like a
fiber.
kind of nut, or what's the origin of this?
So yeah, so it comes from a fruit, and then the fruit is dried, and then that's the powder that they extract from it. Yeah, and it's really, really healthy. It has a lot of fiber. It's 50% fiber, so it's good for cleanse and stuff. And it also has a lot of antioxidant, and so you could use it in your smoothies. You could use it, put some in your oatmeal, yogurt, and make like a yogurt parfait and stuff like that. But it's amazing with high blood pressure.
Oh.
Literally, like if somebody has high blood pressure and start taking 2 spoons a day, it literally controls their blood pressure, and they might be taken off their medication by their doctor. Okay. We've had customers that told us, and also we know because we're from Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the red palm oil, back to red palm oil, it actually lowers cholesterol. And the capsule helps lower cholesterol significantly. If you take it consistently, you will see a difference in your blood work before and after if you take it. So it's amazing. I mean, I could sit here all day, but you don't have all day, even though I do when it comes to my products. No. So I'll stop, but it's amazing. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I can't wait to try all of these.
Yeah.
And again, I think this one, I can't wait to try the most.
The sauce?
Spicy. Yes. I can't wait.
It's going to be good.
Well, thank you so much for
talking to me. Appreciate you.
Again, congratulations on all of your success. And
thank you.
I will be watching and supporting you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate you. And thanks for having us.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
Ciao.